Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence, and by Dow Automotive Systems, innovations for clean powertrain solutions.
This is Autoline Daily for February 15, 2011, and now the news. It isn't very often that you see Roger Penske fail at anything, but selling smart cars in the American market even proved to be too much for Mr. Penske. Mercedes-Benz USA is going to take over the distribution of smart from the Penske Automotive Group. Interestingly, Mercedes is not buying back the distribution rights. The PAG is essentially giving them to Mercedes, suggesting PAG really took a financial bath on the whole deal. But it was easy to foresee that Smart would not succeed. For one thing, it had essentially been a failure in Europe, where the cars never really sold that well and the brand lost money ever since they started building cars. Some background here. Back in the Daimler Chrysler days, when Tom Stallkamp, the president of Chrysler, suggested to the board that they drop Smart because it was losing money with no hope of ever making a profit, he was pushed out of the company. Worse, the cars themselves were not very good. They have a horrible automatic transmission. They don't ride very well, and their fuel economy, about 35 miles per gallon, is not that great considering how small they are. Penske brought in Jill Lajak, who had been running Saturn, to try and breathe some life into sales. Recently, they've been hyping an electric version of the Smart. None of that worked. He also contracted Nissan to build a version of the Micra for Smart to sell, but now that deal has been canceled too. Mercedes will soldier on with the brand, waiting for new models that will be based on a platform from Renault, because it needs small cars to meet U.S. fuel economy regulations. Even so, it's amazing to see how committed Daimler is to a brand that has lost money for its entire existence. Seems like Chrysler won the informal Super Bowl advertising war with its spot featuring rapper Eminem using the tagline, "Imported from Detroit." In comparison, General Motors took a quantity over quality approach. Chevy blitzed the airwaves with 5 commercials during the game, with 2 more running before the kickoff. But according to the Wall Street Journal, GM was able to capitalize on the buzz generated by Chrysler's spot. Joe Olewanik, the company's marketing chief, counterattacked by getting his staff to make a keyword bid on Google. What that means is GM paid to have its content featured anytime someone Googled "imported from Detroit," or in the case of Volkswagen's Passat ad, anytime they Googled Darth Vader. If you Googled those taglines, a link to Chevrolet would appear at the top of the results. This is a very shrewd way to capitalize on someone else's success. It's called SEO, or search engine optimization. During his State of the Union address, President Obama said he wants 1 million electric vehicles on U.S. roads by 2015, and it looks like he's going to axe funding for clean diesels and fuel cells to make the money available for electrics. The EPA is going to cut funding for the Clean Diesel program, for which Congress had allocated $500 million over 5 years. The administration also proposes to not fund a hydrogen fuel cell program, which had been budgeted at $1.5 billion over a number of years. Bentley set a new world speed record on ice. Finnish rally champion Juha Kankkunen, sorry for butchering the pronunciation, piloted a Continental Supersports convertible on the frozen Baltic Sea, topping 330 kilometers an hour. And for our American listeners, that's more than 205 miles an hour. The speed was based on the average of 2 runs run in opposite directions. It was certified by the Finland Traffic Police and the Guinness Book of Records. Surprisingly, the car needed only minimal modifications to break the record. It received a special safety cage, Pirelli winter tires, and a parachute to help bring it to a stop. Its 600 horsepower, 12-cylinder engine appears unchanged from the factory version. It even ran on E85 ethanol because the environment's important, even when you're breaking the speed record. Looks like the Town Car name's going to live on, but now that name goes on another vehicle. Lincoln just introduced the limousine version of the MKT, but it's calling it the MKT Town Car. It comes in 2 body styles, livery and limousine. The livery version is based on the standard MKT chassis and is available in front and all-wheel drive. Inside, the rear seats were pushed back for more legroom and even recline, and more cargo space was added. The limousine version can be stretched up to 10 feet in length and features several upgrades to the chassis to make the conversion possible. The MKT Town Car models will be sold to fleet customers, and production begins next spring at Ford's Oakville plant in Canada. Coming up next, we'll take a look at the all-new Nissan Quest. We'll be back right after this.
Reducing exhaust emissions, aerified diesel particulate filters, high filtration, low back pressure, small package size, excellent durability. DowAerify.com.
Nissan has completely redesigned its minivan, the Quest, in a quest to try and get sales going. Can it work? Seamus McElroy has this report.
We're in San Diego, California. Sunny weather, beautiful beaches, in other words, the perfect spot for families. And also the perfect spot to introduce the family-friendly 2011 Nissan Quest. The minivan segment has the reputation of being boring and bland, but Nissan wanted to rehabilitate that image with the all-new Quest, and that started with the design.
Styling isn't usually something that comes as standard equipment in the minivan segment, so we thought it was very important to attract a customer that we make the minivan design such that everybody would want to drive it. So we gave it a bold and aggressive front face. The body sides have a nice contour line in them, and we have a wraparound privacy glass with a pillarless design.
The Quest is powered by an upgraded 3.5-liter V6 that's mated to a CVT. EPA figures aren't in yet, but the company estimates the fuel economy at 18 miles per gallon in the city and 24 on the highway. Another part of the 2011 Quest story is inside, where the company significantly upgraded the interior. Cloth seats are standard in the lower trim models, while leather-appointed seats are standard on the top trims. Other features include rear DVD entertainment, a nav system, and a permanent storage area in the rear. But it wouldn't be a minivan without flexible seating. The second and third row seats fold flat without having to take them out. However, the second row seats cannot be removed. And the seats are arranged theater-style in order to give everyone a good view of the road. Other unique features include an air purifying and filtration system, which reduces allergens and odors, and a feature Nissan calls Easy Fill Alert that's part of the tire pressure monitor system. Here's how it works.
So if you get a low tire pressure indicator, you simply pull into the gas station. You don't need to worry about using a tire gauge to know the pressure. You put the air hose on the vehicle, and our four-way flashers on the vehicle will flash to let you know that the tire is being filled. And then when it reaches the recommended tire pressure, the horn will gently honk at you to let you know that you've reached a recommended tire pressure for that particular tire.
With TPMS now mandated by the government starting next year, expect to see this feature offered across Nissan's lineup in the future.
The base price of the Quest starts at just over $28,000. However, the top trim level price jumps to over $42,000. And the Quest faces some pretty stiff competition. The Honda Odyssey minivan was redesigned last year, and Chrysler is just bringing out redesigned versions of its minivans. And that's today's report on the top news in the global automotive industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.